Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, or whenever you are. Welcome to yet another awesome review coming for you from NerdTube, the best channel that you probably, maybe, yeah, I think you've heard of us. You're here, right? So, hey, we're going to be talking some more She-Hulk, and we're excited for episode 2. We've got a great group of us here today. We got Zam.
How you doing?
And then, of course, we wouldn't be here without the Ginger Greek. And D. Hosea.
What? Why am I here?
Sometimes we question that. Cheeto, last but least, of course.
I'm here to represent the people that might like She-Hulk, unlike the person to your right over there, if you're watching your screen. I put us down here at the bottom because we got to be separated because Ginger's just a twat. So.
Shut up, damn it! All right.
And it starts already. Yeah, no, should be good. I think we got some differing opinions as per usual, so it's always a good time. But yeah, so we're going to do things a little bit different here today. So we're going to try to skip the traditional breakdown. We're going to do it a little bit more category. Let us know down in the comments below. What do you think? Is the new format a little better? What can we do to keep things going? But first thing we want to talk about is kind of the story of it. We're going to assume you guys have all watched it. Why are you here if you haven't watched it?
Actually, before we get started, just thank you for Daniel Vance and Jim Commodore Boone for joining us here in the chat. They've already got some chats going on here, so we'll be playing those as you go through.
Commodore Boone's got a Disney Plus account, so he's all getting into the She-Hulk as well.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So we just got some comments already rolling in. So, but go ahead, Jake. I just wanted to say welcome to our two chatters so far.
Welcome to the stream.
Welcome. It's we're here for you guys, so it's always best. We can talk to you guys, so it's awesome. But yeah, so first thing on the story beat we want to talk about is Jen's job, because that's kind of the crux of the episode. So kind of want to talk about just the first part of it. She gets fired because apparently she's a liability. And I mean, in a bar, do people really fire other people, especially district attorneys, in a bar?
No, but this is Disney. We do things a different way around here, pal.
Right. So that's kind of a weird thing coming out of that. And then she's like, well, I can't be an Avenger because that's not a job, which is actually also a great point because
And do they pay health care for that matter?
Yeah. Because then, as I said, they don't, that's the entire point of what happens in Winter Soldier. So what do you think about that there, Ginger?
About what? Sorry, that scene.
Yeah, I mean, just in general, the whole plot line kind of her having to look for a new job because she's a liability, and because, and how she lost it in a bar for all sake of places to lose it.
Well, I mean, the funny thing is like, because I'm so used to like the American labor force being like really the rules just out the fucking window. Her getting fired in the bar, I didn't even think about it. I was just like, yeah, just that's just in America. You just get fired for whatever, whenever, and all of that. But I did like how she went from like when she transformed back to Jen, she just got absolutely shit faced, just collapsed to the floor, and he's trying to stay sober as she's getting fired.
Trying to process all legit.
Of it. That was a funny scene.
Yeah, that was pretty great. Zan, what about you?
I just thought it was funny that you're fired from the bar in a bar, and I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, it was okay. I like the fact that people wanted to see She-Hulk, and Bruce Banner did mention earlier on in the previous episode that you get your name from the people. You don't make your name; the people give you a name. Hence, Iron Man as well. So when she heard that her name was She-Hulk going into the bar, like, oh god, it's just a female version of the Hulk, and stuff like that. And apart from the Wasp, I think pretty much every person's name is a female version of a male character if there's a female version of that character. So yeah, but it was a pretty cool scene, and I like the fact that we got the credits afterwards saying, attorney for hire instead of attorney for law, which was also a nice little touch.
Yeah, I thought that really kind of made the episode. And I mean, and kind of going down that story beat a little further, it's kind of interesting how she's still yet, even after getting fired in the bar like that, she's still choosy about where she's looking for a job. So you can see that she hasn't really hit rock bottom, but yet when she takes the new job, she's actually doesn't ask any questions. And dude's like, "Don't you want to know what I'm about to tell you?" No, I'll take the job. And so I thought that kind of as a whole story beat, it's kind of interesting. They tried to sink her so low, but she doesn't really actually care because she's still being choosy where she applies when they have that scene on the couch. Cheeto, what do you think about the whole job situation as a whole?
As an American worker, I think it is very appropriate that she gets fired at a bar because that's where most people wind up anyway. So just saving the trip afterwards. No, the whole job situation, it feels straight out of the comic books. Now, keep in mind, I'm not all up on She-Hulk in the comic books back in the 70s, like when she debuted and everything. I know she does eventually, or in the beginning, I don't remember, start is still an attorney as She-Hulk, and she's also representing either heroes or villains or just a mix of in between in the comic books. So none of that surprised me. The whole job situation it's good. I mean, I don't have an issue with it. So, yeah, I think that's it. Sorry, I'm used to the play-by-play.
No, it's all right.
It's going to be an adjustment.
What is about you here, Hosea?
I thought it was all right. I thought it was funny that she got fired in a bar. I think it would have been funnier if she had gotten plastered and then the phone rings off the hook and then it would have been like, "Well, Jen, we hate to tell you, we got to let you go." And then she could have She-Hulked and raged out or did something like that. But I thought it was funny for what it was. It was she was "I'm sorry that we lost the case." And then the dude's like, "No, I'm sorry. We got to let you go." And then she's like, "What? No, I'm fired." And, she goes through kind of rejection after rejection, which I thought was, it was a nice touch in the real world. People go through that kind of thing. But it fit the scene, and I thought that was honestly the best scene of the episode for me.
I just never been fired in a pub for as long as all the jobs I've been made redundant from or been fired from in the past. It's never been let's go to the pub and and my boss is thinking,
"Yeah, I'm gonna fire him.
Drink and get rid of his ass." It never happens.
It was stated prior to schedule change
at the pub, and she's at the pub, and he calls her at night and is like, "Hey, yeah, no, we're letting you go immediately."
Yeah, that's what I was thinking they were going to do too.
Show up at the bar, fired.
Yeah, I was thinking they would have done that too. It was stated prior to schedule changes that episode 1 was originally episode 8 of the series, huh?
But I heard they're going to make they were making the penultimate episode which was going to be She-Hulk, and whoever had that idea is fucking stupid for a 9-episode arc. Ridiculous. They make a She-Hulk on the penultimate episode.
That's the normal layout for Disney shows. Is episode 5 is the flashback episode.
Yep.
Yeah.
Always. Or the penultimate episode is the flashback episode. So, wow, they actually did this one first. It's a fucking miracle.
Right. I think that's actually a lot of what works for this episode. Talking about one of the other scenes, the story beats that did work for me is the family part. And just having everyone get together, finding out that Ched is the smart one, I guess, as they mentioned last episode.
He's being facetious.
Of course, trying to get set up on blind dates from his mom. Sorry, what were you saying there, Sheeta?
Oh, they were being facetious.
Yeah.
I don't think entirely. There's a bit in there where it seems like the family really likes him or whatever because he just got promoted, and it might almost seem like, while you're right, it's a type of facetiousness. I think that some of the other family kind of likes him, and that's why they're making that joke about him. But yeah, what do you?
Well, guys? it was between Bruce and Jen, who are smart fuckers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So they made the joke between themselves. So yeah, I think they probably think that is it Chad or Ched?
Ched.
He's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wonder if he falls as third in the family.
I would.
He's a cousin to Jen, is he? So I don't know where.
Yeah,
he stands.
I would say so, because it was like, okay, yeah, like they all like kind of like halfway whooped when he got his promotion at Best Buy. Like it was like, woo, okay, and then like they went on and talked about like, Jen, I know somebody and that might be interested, and she's like, don't set me up for this, and he's like, no, it's he wants to be a superhero and he wants to know how to do it. I thought the funny part of the scene was how I think her dad started talking about Hawkeye and all this shit about like, does he pick his bows up like after he's done with them?
His arrows up.
Yeah. Does he pick his arrows up and that kind of shit? And it's like, it's the little things that make you wonder, like, does he actually do that? Like, I was curious myself. I'm like, how the hell does this happen?
He does. If you saw Hawkeye, he does. He picked up his arrows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, but yeah.
I thought the family dynamic was actually pretty damn good in this episode. I really liked it.
I really did too, and I'm glad that they chose to make it the bonus scene at the end with her doing the chores. I laughed my ass off at that.
Yeah.
Especially with Ched trying to change the tire. I didn't turn in it, and she's just sitting there all bored.
Yeah. I'm glad you're staying hydrated, Dad, but this is a bit excessive.
And we don't know exactly. I mean, apart from Mum and Dad, and we know Ched is a cousin because he called Jen's dad uncle. So we know the rest of the family, we don't know who they are exactly, uncle, cousin, aunt, niece, whatever. So, we don't know how they're all related to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't get really specific on that.
So then I have the most important question. If Chad is a cousin to Jennifer, then does that mean that Chad, I'm going to call him Chode, I don't care. Chode is don't laugh. Is Bruce Banner's brother?
Oh, come on! Don't say that. I think as you were building up to that, I think don't say it.
Don't say it.
I mean, I have fucking cousins who are not fucking brothers to each other, mate. You know what I mean? You can have more than one cousin.
I'm just saying.
It could be different sides of the family. They could be on the mom's side of the family or the dad's side of the family.
And you know what? Ched could be Mephisto. I'm just saying, put it out there.
That's accurate. That's accurate.
Mephisto confirmed in the MCU.
He's Apocalypse, mate.
Apocalypse didn't have shit to do with this, but moving on. All right. Her being fired for She-Hulk is
a comment from Daniel here. Her being fired for being She-Hulk is an ADA violation. I absolutely thought so as well. It was really my thought when that happened. It's like, can he even do that in a bar? And I think you're right, man.
Yeah.
What's an ADA violation?
Yeah.
It's an American with the Disabilities Act, basically.
Yeah.
I see.
You can't discriminate like that. That's discrimination.
Yeah.
That you're not supposed to do that kind of thing, but they did it anyway. But this is Disney. Ha! We get away with anything.
I mean, Disney's history of how it treats its employees.
Yep.
I think it's more the fact that they're lawyers and they think they can get away with whatever they want.
Yep.
Yeah.
You think they know the law better?
You'd think. Anyways, so back to the family there. Anyone have any closing thoughts on that before we move on to the next topic? Or
well, their family seems pretty nice, but I do believe Bruce Banner's mum and dad, especially his dad, was a fucking asshole. So I don't know how they're related to Bruce's dad, if any of them are, or maybe it's on the mum's side of the family. I don't know. So I think it's on the mum's side of the family because it's Jennifer Walters. So she's taken her father's name, which means that would mean that Bruce's dad's sister is Jennifer's mum.
Yeah.
Likely. Or maybe Bruce's mum's is fuck it. I'm
going on a tangent.
I'm confusing myself.
Bruce is Chad's brother.
I don't think so.
Mephisto.
I don't think so.
Okay. Let's move on.
Is Mephisto? That's confirmed.
To quote She-Hulk, I'll probably worry about this for the rest of the year about what he just said. Probably will.
So I want to take on next and kind of talk about a little more, kind of one of the deeper topics of the show that they try to talk about. And that's in general She-Hulk and her name and the fact that and what it means. It's hard to talk about it as a white male, but what it means to her in the show to be a female and a female superhero, because the whole concept of the name She-Hulk is supposed to actually be a rip on how in comics you have to be a female derived, and her whole entire thing is it's part of why she breaks the fourth wall, a lot of the history there. So I thought it was interesting they tackled the origin of her name in this and how they handled that. It started with Chick Hulk, which is can be seen as a derogatory, and it gets switched over to She-Hulk, and is that really a better name though? And she hates it, but at the end of the episode, she's kind of decided that she's okay with it, and she's learning to accept it, because in reality she doesn't get to choose it, her fans do. So I kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit, because I know you'd kind of gotten into it a little bit earlier, Sam. You'd mentioned about them cheering it, and then she didn't like it. So I just want to open the floor on that and see if anyone wants to actually tackle this wonderful subject.
Well, I mean, given the plethora of male superheroes that have man at the end of their name, it's just a comic book trope that has bled into the kind of movie sphere and TV sphere, and it's just one of those. It's the name's always derived from another name to help kind of push sales of that kind of comic. So it's just one of those things. It's just part of comic book life.
Yeah.
I never really thought of it in the way that Jennifer Walters brought it up, though. Like it has to be a female version of a male name, especially if she's a female version of a male superhero. So that I never really thought of that until she brought it up. And like I said, the only one I can think of that is not got like a female twang to their name is the Wasp. I mean, who's obviously like the male version of that, but she can fly as well. So.
Scarlet Witch. I mean,
but there's no male version. There's no male version.
Exactly. There's no male version of the Scarlet Witch. Like,
yeah, I'm just saying. But if you're copying a male character, you get given a female twang. The only person who's not been given that female twang is the Wasp.
Oh, because you're comparing her to Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Right. And even with Scarlet Witch, even if you don't really have someone to compare her with, Witch is very stereotypically female. There's very few times in very few fantasy worlds where Witch is both. So already, it is almost to a point a she or nomiker. So yeah, that's definitely in there. And along with that, I think it's kind of interesting how she's constantly having to choose which form she's in based on what the people around her want. Because with female, it'd be the Scarlet Warlock. Yeah, exactly.
And actually, that's where my issue of this episode comes up. Is like, the lawyer firm saying you have to be in the She-Hulk character when you're, or persona when you're at work.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's but I go back and forth about it because in every a lot of places have uniforms you have to use, but this is not a uniform. This is a person. You know what I mean? So like, how do they justify that? And that's, I was kind of going through the legalese in my mind of like, how would they justify making her do that? Like, they can't fire her for not showing up as She-Hulk. I mean,
right. That's the thing, though, is it's not just there. Everyone's doing it to her. When dude fires her at the bar, well, you have to be in human form.
Yeah, you got to be in human form. You can't do this. You can't do that. It's like, it's going to be such conflicting things. And it's like, okay, I kind of feel like you're flip-flopping a little bit. Pick one or the other. You know what I'm saying?
When she went to the prison, she had to be in human form.
Yeah, when she's in the prison, she's got to be.
Mike Hunter. That's an interesting name.
She's going to get laid at some point in this series.
Oh, yeah, it's inevitable.
No, I don't think Daredevil's going to have any. Like, Daredevil and She-Hulk will cross paths, but I don't think there's going to be any boinking. And Red
what up, Red Comet Man?
Red Comet Man, welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think with the She-Hulk thing, I think it's like Ginger said, it's there to get sales, man. Money rules the world, so that's how this is going to be. It's all about
I just found
money,
it strange that like in the first episode when she turned into She-Hulk, when she was in court, her clothes ripped, but this time around, her clothes didn't rip when she was told to turn into She-Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
So did she purposely have an outfit already that was able to?
I think it's
Expand.
I think it's a
Possibly
continuity.
because my jeans are made out of elastine, so they stretch really, really far.
I mean,
because I'm a
yeah,
fat
okay.
fuck, so.
I did look for
Yeah.
that, and if you look, she's definitely got a longer skirt on when she like it's like to the knees when you walk in. But after she changes into She-Hulk, and you also notice her blouse, her blazer is also pretty. Her blazer is pretty.
Tight.
Not like big, but like not tight on her.
Sizable,
And then,
yeah.
and then when in the next scene, everything's kind of like her blazer's kind of further out. Her skirt's a lot shorter. Like if you go back and look at that, so I'm pretty sure what happened is she, they thought about that. But yeah, I see your point, Zam, about it ripping because you've also got waistlines and stuff like that. Like because She-Hulk gets bigger everywhere. It's not like
it's not like one area stands out, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, like her waistline would have gotten bigger, and I mean, proportion wise, it's fine, but the clothes she was wearing does not really flex. I don't think that much. So I understand the continuity of it, but at the same time, I wasn't that fussed about it.
Disney doesn't want to show too much female flesh either.
Yeah, Disney's not going to do that. They're like,
they're too fucking prudish for that.
Yeah, they'll show the physique, but not the flesh.
Yeah.
I also want to. I'm really happy the fact that her best friend Nikki is very happy for her. I'm not remotely jealous and likes the fact that she's She-Hulk and totally comfortable around it. None of that stupid, stereotypical female jealousy trope friendship shit. So I very much appreciate that too. Like, you can have a best friend who's a girl who's happy for you in every way possible.
Yeah, I like that it wasn't like, I'm happy for you, stab, stab, stab. Yeah,
the chemistry is really good between the two actors as well, so that kind of helps.
I'm really hoping that the Brits over there will get a little bit of an inside look into female culture over here in America, because last week you guys were like that bathroom scene. You guys were like, that would not happen in America. Yeah, it would. Yeah, that's actually.
And then they had a fucking spare pair of shoes for her. For fuck's sake.
Trust me, girls take other pairs of shoes. Why do you think that they got those big ass bags?
My question is, how the hell do you know all this?
Because
we're just saying in England, you just get called a slag and kicked in the fanny. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
But anyway, with the She-Hulk thing, I think it's a continuity thing. Actually, it would be interesting to look on IMDb. I'm going to do that when we're done here.
How much of her being in human form do you think is a budget issue?
I like the human form. I know she really didn't do that much in the comic books, but I do like the fact that they do have a human form for her, just because the CGI is good, but it's not movie level. And I understand why in a TV show they need to do human time, is what I call, like, you got to have human time in a TV show, just because you can't have her She-Hulk all the time, budgetary reasons. And honestly, I think I would kind of lose it a little bit, like if she was She-Hulk all the time, just because the CGI is not the best.
Yeah, it's not Power Rangers bad.
No, it's not. But it's nowhere near Power Rangers bad at all. But
Power Rangers was never CGI. It's all fucking model.
No, dude, Ivan Ooze, you got to see the movie. Worst CGI, I think. That's the standard. Like, it's some of the worst CGI you'll ever see.
Yeah, but come on, for its time, it was awesomely bad.
Yeah, I remember I lost my shit when I was seeing people doing a roundhouse kick at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I even think about like the CGI on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh,
like, that was terrible.
Yeah.
And I'll take this any day.
Yeah, it's better. It could be better, but it's not the worst.
Oh yeah, but there's a scene later on that the CGI was abysmal.
Did you guys see the newspaper that Jennifer was reading when she was looking for work?
Oh,
we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later. We'll get through the story bits first.
Yeah. So the last of the story bits that I want to talk about here is, kind of the ending of it is her Superhuman Law Division, the Blonski case, kind of taking that. So she's working now at GLK and H, Goodman, Lieber, Kutzberg, and Holloway. Yeah, I had to look that up. And she meets like this guy named Pug. Like, what the fuck kind of name is Pug?
Interesting fact. Do you know who that guy is?
Yeah,
Adrian Chase.
Yep, Adrian Chase from Arrow. I'm like, I didn't catch it the first time, and then somebody said it the second time, and I was like,
"Oh, that is him." Yeah,
that's gonna be a Frogman. in the show.
You think so? Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
That's a good call.
Man.
That's a
No,
good
I
call.
doubt it.
I hope he's Frogman. He needs to wear that the fuck out of that outfit.
Because there's a scene in one of the TV spots or trailers where he just jumps out of a window. And in a suit, and it looked like that guy. So I was just like, oh, that's probably going to be Frogman.
Oh man, I hope not.
Wrong.
But yeah. So anyways, what do you guys think about Holloway and kind of the fact that he doesn't seem to care one bit about or actually more so just the conflict of interest.
He is the real villain of the show.
Yeah, he's going to be the real bad guy of the show. You could kind of
be the real bad guy.
You could kind of pick that up just by if you watch when he had that I don't care if I don't give a shit about your conflict of interest. It's like, okay, something right there clicked. I'm like,
more's going to be revealed. Yeah,
he's going to be the guy that you got to look out for throughout this arc. I think.
I don't think that anyone cares about the conflict of interest, and that includes Jen. Because even with Jen, when she finally gets down to it and she finally calls Bruce, what she should be doing if she cares about this conflict of interest, she's not calling really to ask his permission.
She's like, I'm gonna do it anyway, dude.
You're telling me. You're not actually asking. You're telling.
Yeah.
So,
that could easily lose her a case in the real world, because apparently, if you have a conflict of interest in the jury and the judge can just say, sorry, the prosecution or defense could just say, sorry, this is a clear conflict of interest, which is skewing the whatever the case, and so they could throw it out.
But
even if the defendant wanted you.
Waiver.
Yeah.
Blonski signed the
waiver.
Waiver.
So my understanding is that kind of conflict of interest where the judge can throw it out is only if it's a conflict of interest between the two sides.
Between the parties, and she's never met Abomination.
On the other side of the case against Blonski, and Blonski hired somebody else, then that would be a giant conflict of interest.
No, I see, because she's defended him.
Yeah, because she's persecuting him, and she has a reason to not like him.
Yeah.
But because she's defending him, he can choose to say that's okay, even if she doesn't like me, she can still defend me. And that's what that form is. That's how I read it. I'm not versed in law that well, but
I mean, still, you could argue that she may deliberately sabotage his case that keeps him in prison. So there's that concept of conflict.
Yeah, because we don't know where this is going just yet.
That form says I can't. I take that risk.
Oh. All right, cool.
But she mentioned that she would do her best job possible anyway. So, yeah.
Do you guys buy the do you buy that actual defense of his about it's not my fault?
No,
not at all.
No.
Yeah,
no.
I mean, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't he actually break in and steal more serum or something like that? Or
yeah. That's how he became the because at first he had the serum and he was just doing flippy spinny shit. And then he took more serum.
But it was faster. Yeah.
I got to make a point here. In the title of this video, we said review and debate, and here's the debate part. Hulk actually says years ago, Abomination and I fought. So that means that the
Incredible Hulk is canon.
Yes. No, I want no denial from you. I maintain
version of the story.
Jake, come on, man. Jake, your denial is
there's nothing you can do, dude. You're caught now. Yeah, it's
because he even said I'm a different person. Well, all of a sudden he's a different person in a fucking alternative universe that's never been seen before.
They're quite literally
happened to be played by fucking Edward Norton. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? Just eat your humble pie, admit you're wrong, and this is because that's how it is.
No, thank you. I'm going to continue.
He's just going to go on and ignore it
like American. He's so American right now. Like fucking Trump supporter.
Guys, we sound like Fox News now. Stop it.
I'm so triggered.
I'm not telling you that the color blue is now red. Okay.
What the hell? This is what I'm talking about. This is American shit you're doing with me right now, man. Everything was revealed in this episode.
Honor his opinion.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
His opinion. He can be wrong all he wants.
It doesn't matter.
A similar story happened in this universe. The other one
said he was a different person. Literally, he was talking about Edward Norton in that sense. You know, we've got Tim fucking Roth there for fuck's sake. You know what I mean?
Yes,
in that film.
It's okay, Jake. You have your
same, but until I hear Betty's name or see the leader, Incredible, that was a variant
until
story.
we see Liv Tyler. Until we see Liv Tyler.
Wait, so Tim Roth wasn't enough. Tim
Tony
Russ,
Stark.
Tony Stark, like all those characters that have already
General
crossed
Ross.
over wasn't enough until you see Betty or the leader
I'm
guy.
telling you,
That's
that
it.
one, it's
And
like
then when Betty shows
But
up,
but
then
these
it's not
but these
good
other
enough.
things, these other
all
layers.
the different multiverses are almost exactly the same. except
Yeah, but there's other things as well, even
I
outside
told
of
you.
that game I
told
told
you
you
he was
about.
gonna say that.
1-5, and that's where the Hulk came from.
I told you he was going to say that, Zam.
I think you know that you're wrong, and you're just basically saving face.
No,
You know what I mean?
no,
Zam
no,
has
no,
to be
no,
right.
615, as I'm calling it, could be a different number, really, but I'm going to call it 615.
To the universe 69.
Similar to the ones that take place in 616.
No. This
And they're
isn't
doing it
616.
that way so they
616 is
can
a fucking
retcon
comic
anything
book.
they want.
616 is comic books.
I love that I was the one that opened the floodgates for this. I had to
Yeah,
do
well
it.
done,
Well
done, David. Well done.
Dave, if you're not starting a fight, I don't know what you're doing here.
I was thinking
It's like,
would Jake be
that would
reasonable?
be like saying if Ginger's not here to hate on something.
We all have our place. I'm
do.
the milk toast viewer, so you know.
Hey, listen. It's like people that like The Last Jedi. If they like it, they like it. Who gives a fuck? You
Yeah.
know?
Yes.
It's just one of those. If he wants to
movie's
believe that it's a different universe, who cares? Who's gonna lose sleep over it?
Lots
You
of
know.
people will. Nerds.
Yeah, fine. He wants to believe it, but he's still wrong.
Let's
You know
call
what
the hotline. For Earth, press 1. For Earth 2, press 2.
So let's quickly talk about this scene before we completely derail this.
Yeah, all
fucking
right.
thing.
All right, let's go back to talking about
So
actual
Amil
stuff we're
Blonski,
talking about.
I really enjoyed this scene. I thought Tim Roth is just a delight whenever he's on
genius.
screen.
Yeah.
It's just a great actor, and I really liked this scene. It was fun. It was well dialogued. The chemistry was really, really good. It's one of those just rarities. We just, you're engrossed in the scene. It's not like the tone isn't serious or anything like that, but it was fun. It was well written, and kudos. However, I will say one thing. The scene where she arrives at the facility is some of the worst CGI I've ever seen. Look at the truck. Look how stupid it looks. The lack of shading on the truck. The shading in general. It looks so green screen. It was just laughable. But that's the only nitpick of that scene in general. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
Was that the same place the clandestines were taken in?
Was it?
No.
Ms. Marvel.
No.
Okay.
No, because that's in LA and they were in New York, New Jersey area.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, which is weird because I thought he was supposed to be out on the raft or whatever.
Yeah, I thought that too. And then
Yeah.
That's what they
But
always
maybe
But Hulk's
because
going somewhere.
maybe because his parole is coming up, maybe they moved him.
maybe
Yeah, I suppose.
another
I suppose.
continuity
that's
thing they
just
got to
head
figure
canon,
out.
but-
Yeah.
Do you think he can argue that the first batch made him insane and addicted, and that's why he took more?
Good point.
Possibly.
There's a chance. Yeah, there's a chance.
I think he's going to win his parole at the end of the season, and then
Oh, he is, because he's going to be in the Thunderbolts.
Yeah,
So he's 100% going to win.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
It's not the end of Tim Roth.
I don't know if he's going to win. I think he might still end up in jail, but he gets hired by SoCal Val.
Well, there's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How awesome was it that they tied this into Shang-Chi?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Before we go into that, we didn't mention the fact that Hulk was on a spaceship going to fucking God knows where.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So what the hell is that? Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to add that and talk about that and kind of.
He was on a Sakaar ship.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Some of the extra stuff.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I want to get through the main story beats, and then we'll talk about some of the extra scene stuff and whatnot. But yeah, that is definitely something to talk about. But yeah, you're kind of talking about that Macau fight being in there. I thought that was a really good reference. Sets the time period, and that was pretty cool.
Here's the thing, though: we don't know the time frame because they said that the footage was leaked. So
Yeah.
they could have been sitting on it for a while.
So
and
let me
then
ask,
they're
like,
just now releasing it.
I
Yeah,
suppose that's a good point.
And let me ask, okay, where exactly are we? Because I know we're post Thanos, but are we like in between something? Like, have they elaborated on that yet?
She-Hulk technically, normally what I go by is by Disney Plus's MCU in timeline order, unless something else blows that out of the water. And She-Hulk is, I think, at the end. So technically, I think this is taking place after Hawkeye, after Moon Knight, after.
Okay, so it's
now, as I said,
this is like 2025 in their world.
Oh, okay.
And they never mention a year because they don't want to peg themselves down to a certain year, which is smart because all of us smarks are going to be, oh, what year is it? You know.
Yeah. I've never been one to pay attention to exactly what year it is in the world because that just gets stupid complex.
There was a newspaper showing. I didn't check the dates. Oh yeah, we need to mention that as well. Don't forget that as well.
Yeah, we'll talk about that at the end.
Emil's 7 friends. Yeah,
that's the Thunderbolts. It's got to be like that's a drop. That's like it's in 7. Like I think there were like at least 6 or 7 original Thunderbolts. So, and I mean, if you count
it kind of falls into the thing of when you have shows that you should have a minimum of 8 to 7 characters to play off of. So the other 7 are clearly the Thunderbolts.
Yeah, that's got to be who it is. All right. So, any other last thoughts about the Blonski case and all of that, and her new place at HLK and G? I think if I got that right.
HLK and Shang-Chi. What?
Oh yeah. Any other thoughts on that? All right.
No.
So let's move on then, and we'll talk about some of the other random moments that we thought were pretty good or stand out. We'll start with Zam, you were excited to talk about Hulk being on a spaceship. So where do you think he's going, and what do you think that's leading to?
Well, he was on the Sakaar ship. We know so much stuff has happened off screen that we don't even see him with.
We don't even see him pack up to get on the ship.
We don't see the aliens or anything like that, unless the ship was sent to him automatically, unmanned. And then he just gets on it, and he's able to talk on his phone and shit while he's in space.
That phone bill's going to be a monster.
Well, you can if you're a certain distance from Earth, you can still talk on your mobile phone because the satellites are up in space.
Yeah, it's Bruce Banner as well.
So it's just before he kind of launched away.
And plus it's probably a special phone made by Tony Stark that sucks his dick whenever he gets horny or something.
So I'm gonna setting up.
And I'm going to date myself with this reference. What if Hulk has Jen in the Phase 5? No one will get that reference. No one here will get that reference. T-Mobile Phase 5. Yeah, no one will get that reference with T-Mobile Phase 5 commercial.
I know what the Phase 5 is. I didn't know if you were trying to make a riff on Fantastic Four or T-Mobile.
No. I'm not supposed to get that reference from your fucking American commercials.
Well, I don't want to hear it. You didn't even know who Bob Saget was.
What? How do you know what Bob Saget is?
Dude, when Bob Saget died, you're like, I don't know who the fuck this person is.
Yeah.
Watch his stand-up from after Full House.
Well, we didn't see him in anything else other than Full House and Entourage.
Do you know who fucking Bob Monkhouse is?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, who's he?
All right.
Shut the fuck up.
He's your cousin.
You have Bob Full House. We have our Bob Full House.
Yeah, where the hell is Hulk going? That's what we want to know.
So yeah.
Where's he going, and why is he doing this? That's what we need to know.
Planet Hulk. World War Hulk.
World War Hulk.
So we're getting a kind of redo now that Universal has lost the distribution rights, I believe, or will in about a year or so.
Yeah.
I thought it was 2.
Whatever.
No, 1 year.
By the time it comes around, the time would have been done. They can happily film it now, and we're going to get a redo of Planet Hulk, which will probably lead into World War Hulk.
I'm all for it.
Son of Hulk.
Yeah.
So one theory I saw floating around out there was
move closer to your mic. God damn it!
Sorry.
Yeah.
Is this okay, Ginger?
Yes, it is.
Much better.
Okay, so one of the things going around was that World War Hulk was actually going to be a part of the Thunderbolts movie, where the Thunderbolts have to take out Hulk. So I don't know how I feel about that. I feel that's a little bit low scale. Yeah, like World War
Very
Hulk
low
is-
scale.
Yeah, but that's one of the theories and rumors going around, because a lot of the stuff that's that's happening in She-Hulk is going to help build up for Thunderbolts, and they're saying, well, the Hulk leaving is also a big part of that, so maybe it's going to tie into the Thunderbolts. I don't know. I hope they would not tie. Well, I don't mind the idea of the Thunderbolts fighting Hulk, but taking the whole World War Hulk storyline and putting that with
Just that group.
just seems like.
See, I would have done it. The way I would do it is I would start with World War Hulk, and then at the end of it, he just like fucks off to another planet, and then we get Planet Hulk redo. So kind of in reverse order. So then he just goes off and lives his life and fucks and has kids and all this kind of stuff elsewhere, and then you can bring the kids in later on, avenging his
Is he gonna go
father's
back to
downfall or
Is he going to
something.
go back to being Savage Hulk again and no longer Professor Hulk?
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what I'm actually hoping for, because I'm
Yeah,
done.
no
with
more
Hulk.
fucking Disney Hulk. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
They don't
Yeah.
need to redo that. I just they did it. They did it in Thor Ragnarok.
Look, personally, if he had
They did the worst version of
Yeah.
Thor
Awful.
Ragnarok is by far the
Fuck that film.
narratively the worst
that film.
MCU film. Yeah, because you laughed, but like
you
narrative.
guys are in the minority. You have to admit that, though.
I am absolutely in the minority.
Yeah,
but-
we are in the minority, but that's because we enjoy the comic book versions of the garbage that we got. All right. And I don't care if I'm in the minority. I'm happy to be in the minority here, and I acknowledge that I'm in the minority. But you fuck up Ragnarok and you fuck up Planet Hulk, the single best Hulk storyline. You fuck it up just because you don't have distribution rights. It's ridiculous.
I don't.
So
think
now this is one area where I'm more than happy to say, okay, it goes back there and we get Planet Hulk.
Yeah.
I don't care that they're
Yep.
going to do it this way. I'll do it. I would have done it in reverse order where
As
we
long
get
as we
World War
get it.
Hulk
Yeah.
and then Planet Hulk. But I'll take this because
okay. Thank you, Vance.
it deserves to be done.
Vance, not that I question you, but just like, where are you sourcing that at? Is
Yeah.
that
Where's your source at?
like, just because I want to know, if I tell somebody else that, I want to know, say, oh, well, so and so of the production crew said that.
Yes.
If I say Daniel Vance said that, that means something to me, but not to them.
Yeah.
Apparently, rumors are that Hulk has a son when he was during the course of Ragnarok, or before he met Thor in Ragnarok.
They're taking that from the Planet Hulk story.
Yeah, but the thing is that if he had sex and shot his load, then surely he would have turned into Bruce Banner after that.
That
Because,
doesn't necessarily mean.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, that's what I was thinking the whole time. Okay, he's had sex now. Like, I'm no longer angry anymore. All the relief is out.
But it's
Bruce.
but it's
Here
not.
comes Bruce.
But
You know what I
I
mean?
mean, Hulk has proven it's not. And I know you're just being a shithead, but like it's. But it's like he's proven before it's not about anger anymore. Like, it was about anger, but like he slowly learned how to control it more. That he was the other guy for 2 years because the other guy didn't want to let go. Like, not only was Bruce learning how to control the Hulk was learning how to control Bruce at the same time. I feel like and then they eventually learned to cohabitate.
It's weird, yeah, because they cohabitate in a way, to a degree, because I feel like Smart Hulk is more Bruce Banner than Hulk. So and Hulk itself was his own entity. So now has Hulk just gone? You know what I mean? Like, he's not there anymore. You know?
Yeah, Bruce is mostly taking over the Hulk personality, and the Hulk exists in body only.
Well, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that's going to come back to bite him in the ass.
I think so too.
When
Yeah,
Savage
when
Hulk
it's
comes
time.
back.
Scream Rant. When is She-Hulk in the MCU timeline? How long after Endgame? Link is just too long. Okay.
So that's where it
Okay.
came from.
Screen Rant's not bad. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh God, I hate Screen Rant, but that's. Ugh.
yeah, but
Screen Rant.
their information's usually okay. Like,
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
well, I mean, nothing is as good as we got this covered. So
Yes,
Oh my God.
I love posting shit.
That's
We
a
got
site.
this covered.
So my question
Fuck me, man. I banned that site from my own Facebook page. I was like, anyone that links from that is just gonna get slapped.
So does anyone think that we're going to see any more of this storyline during She-Hulk, or is that it
No.
for the rest of the season?
He's
That's
done
it.
his cameo and he's gone.
He's done. Yeah, he's done what
Yeah.
he needed to do. He's gone. You might hear from him maybe one more time, maybe if that, but I doubt it.
Maybe
Yeah,
I
they-
would say
yeah.
I would say if anything a post-credits scene maybe after the last episode.
Yeah,
We'll
you'll see
what
him.
Hulk's been up to.
Yeah, you'll see him one more time, and then that's it, and it'll be a post-credit scene.
Yeah, but they wanted to make sure they like this was like a baton pass, like went from one Hulk to another, and he's done his job. Yeah.
Now it's going to be on her to carry the show going
And
forward.
with other cameos of other recognizable characters from other parts of the MCU, we won't need Bruce Banner anymore. So
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah.
I mean, Hulk served as
Sorry.
somebody. It's time for somebody to wake up.
God
No,
damn it.
that was me having to remind myself to charge my car.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
He's got to take his evening meds.
Yeah. Do you guys think there's going to be the post-credit scene every episode now?
You already
Yes.
said there is.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some will be funny, some will be serious, some will be like, why the hell did they do this? That's
Well,
how it is.
Or pointless like this one was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think so, yeah. Last one was
Yeah.
pointless. This one's pointless. I think they're
Yeah.
going to continue on that.
I think it's
I
just for
think
gigs. That's what it is. Yeah.
Well, the last one did basically answer the unanswered question of if Captain America was a virgin prior to him obviously going back in time,
That was hilarious.
and it was he's not a virgin. So yeah, now we know America's ass. And by the way, that America's ass was on She-Hulk's mom's phone.
Nice detail. Nice catch.
Yeah.
No, that was on She-Hulk's phone.
I would say that was on
That was on
She-Hulk's
She-Hulk's
phone.
phone.
Oh, was it? Oh, sorry, I thought
Yeah, it wasn't
She-Hulk's mom.
She-Hulk's phone.
Oh,
caught
sorry, my
that.
bad.
It was on the second watch through. I was like, wait a second.
Okay, fair enough.
America's ass.
I recognize
Hashtag-
that ass.
Hashtag America's ass.
How great were all the warnings from the prison guard?
Yeah.
I just
Don't
thought
do
that
this. Don't do that. I thought it was great.
Going on.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we get it.
And then he was
Yeah.
like,
It's like
Sign
one of those
here.
jokes where you keep beating a dead horse.
sign here if like you're gonna die or whatever. It's that bad, huh? Ma'am, this is a prison. I thought that was a nice little detail.
Oh,
He's like,
the silence of the. I was expecting a silence of the land reference, and we got one, and then, yeah, it really was that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I loved it. Anyone else have any other scenes we didn't talk about that you
Well,
liked?
Yes, we got confirmation of Wolverine.
No, that doesn't necessarily mean Wolverine.
That was 100% Wolverine.
No,
That's Wolverine.
was Moon Knight. He has claws.
Iron claws in a bar,
Yeah,
Yeah, Iron Claw's in a bar, mate. That's Wolverine.
metal
And
claws.
the-
You know,
and the sentient from Eternal as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did confirm that,
Yeah,
which
Celestial.
I was really
Celestial,
hoping
sorry.
that film was non-canon.
Eternals, yeah. Let's.
what they mention?
That's set in the Incredible Hulk universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there are people who think Moon Knight's not in universe.
What?
Oh god.
Canon's
they high?
not in universe.
Are they high?
Well, it's a good get out.
name
Well,
drops.
it's a good get out of jail card because if they couldn't bring him back, because if Oscar Isaac wasn't going to come back, they could have just said, "Yeah, it takes place in a different universe."
And
But, it's coming back.
I know that Rev Jake had caught a Rama Tut Easter egg in there, but there was no actual mentions of anything like MCU. There was no mention of the blip. There was no mention of Endgame stuff. There was no mention of Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk, any of those big players that we normally hear at least a name drop of. So technically, yeah, I mean they could, and Ginger's right. It could be a get out of continuity free card.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
know, like,
Did they not mention the
But-
blip at all?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think
Okay.
they did.
As I said, the
No,
only
in
thing
an
that
interview, the director or showrunner or whatever said that he didn't get blipped.
Oh, okay. So, yeah.
But that's
Yeah,
as close
so
as
it's
the
that.
show,
But
we don't-
because now that we've got Series 2 confirmed, they're likely going to lean more into the
Is it
MCU stuff.
confirmed? I didn't know it was
Yeah,
confirmed.
yeah, they're in that.
Yep, they've
Rami Malek
confirmed it.
himself confirmed he's with the director in Egypt. They're filming Series 2.
Yep.
Rami Malek
Oh,
is going to be in
Oh
season
my
2?
god, did I say that? Oscar Isaac, sorry.
Oh, okay. I was all like, damn, that's going to be a good cast.
Is he playing?
They do, seriously? They argue that? They argue whether or not the Groot series is canon?
dude, who gives a fuck? That's in
I haven't even seen
that's
that
in
yet.
Universe
I haven't
615
watched it.
also.
It's good. Watch it. A couple of minutes of
Number 6
fun animation.
That's the new thing.
Yeah, the new continuity dump is like 615.
Is it Baby Groot? Yeah. Because
Yeah,
I
that stupid
fucking
Baby
hate Baby
Groot
Groot.
Oh man,
The only thing I
love
learned
those.
from that series is
I
that
love
Baby
those
Groot's a
shorts.
dick.
I love
always
Groot.
been
I like Groot. I like Teenage Groot, but Baby Groot in Guardians 2. Oh my god, I wanted to throw that shit in the fireplace.
Well,
You know,
let's throw the whole
pissed
fucking
me
film
off.
in the fire.
Yeah. Anyways, all right. So it's Wolvie. Anyone else got any scenes that they want to hit up?
I just hope to God it's not Wolverine. I don't want it to be Wolverine. I don't want Wolverine yet. And honestly, this might be a Stephen Strange reference. Like that may be a reference that's in there, and just like it doesn't pay off because let's be real. In Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or not, in the Winter Soldier, the movie, they mentioned Stephen Strange, but at that point there was no real reason to mention Stephen Strange. You know, in the continuity of the MCU. So I'm kind of hoping it was just like one of those like, here's an Easter egg.
Could it be Black Panther?
Yeah, it could be Black Panther.
Movie take place earlier.
Say again, sorry.
Say again.
If I remember right, Doctor Strange, the first movie, is supposed to take place pretty early in the timeline.
It is,
but he's not. But at that point, supposedly no, because at the beginning it said on his watches it says 2016. Everybody was theorizing that the beginning of the movie took place in 2014, so it coincided with the Winter Soldier, and Sitwell was the guy who knocked Doctor Strange off the road. So, but that there's no confirmation of that because obviously you didn't see Sitwell in the car. And also there was an actual plaque in his office that said, or in his house that said something 2016, which means it couldn't have taken place in 2014. So, I mean, so they say it takes place over a 6-month period. I would have been much happier if Doctor Strange took place over a 2-year period where he's, because, that would have been an awesome tie-in, having Sitwell be the one that drove Doctor Strange, and the reason why he said Stephen Strange on the rooftop was because he just had, done the deed of knocking him off of there recently. That was like the most recent guy that Hydra had him whack.
Razor Fist from Shang-Chi has blades for hands.
That's a very
important. But it's not him.
He's a pretty big character.
Yeah.
We'll let you know. We'll let you know, Jim.
Yep.
All right. Well,
no action scenes in this episode, which is good.
No, this is actually they took a break. They gave us a break. It was
only 22 minutes long.
Yeah, they let it breathe, which was good. You got to do that with these shows.
No, but to a degree, like this is they said they're giving us 9 episodes, but then this is what the length of one of the fucking episodes, only 22 minutes. They could have just put this at the end of episode 1, and it would have made one decent long, good pilot episode. In my opinion, with Bruce then finally out of the picture, and then boom, we're dealing with Abomination and whatever else comes up with after that, and then I think we'll see Wong next week as well.
Yeah, next week is going to be an action-packed episode. I think they'll be picking it back up.
Yeah, because they're going to be it'll be interesting to see if they timestamp where She-Hulk is versus when Shang-Chi happens. Because if they say like, oh, this was 6 months ago, or oh, this was a year ago,
Yeah, there's going to be a time jump somewhere. I think
they do mention it.
Yeah.
Well, it has to be to a degree after Shang-Chi because we saw Bruce Banner with his arm in a sling at the end of Shang-Chi. So it's obviously a few months at least after that. So
yeah,
good point.
You'll see a time jump, I think, next week somehow.
So wait a minute. So if Bruce has his arm in a sling in Shang-Chi, but this is supposed to take place after Shang-Chi, did we just find a plot hole?
No, because Bruce had his arm at the sling at the beginning of episode 1. So when they were driving, remember?
Oh yeah, but at the end of Shang-Chi, this
is after Shang-Chi.
Yeah, this takes place after Shang-Chi.
So shouldn't his arm not be in the sling, and shouldn't he be in form?
Because episode
it
1
takes place after Shang-Chi. He's gotten better.
Yeah, but you said his arm is in a sling. I can't remember the post-credit scene. Isn't the
post-credit scene in Shang-Chi? His arm's in a sling.
So, and he's Bruce Banner.
Yeah,
and he's Bruce Banner.
Just like in episode 1 of this.
Okay,
just like he is in this.
Sling.
But so this might be happening concurrently then with Shang-Chi.
It could be.
It's only probably a few months apart.
Yeah, just after.
He also had that device that was healing him. You saw that in Shang-Chi as well.
Ah,
And remember that takes place in the backstory, because then that's her telling her backstory. It's all in a flashback.
yeah.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
So
My thing is, was Carol Danvers on Earth at the end of Ms. Marvel, which was at the end of Shang-Chi?
Yes.
I mean, so like, is that how it works? Was so Ms. Marvel before Shang-Chi, and so when Carol Danvers comes on Earth, she's able to communicate.
They've got
Or
some
was she
plot
doing
lines.
that with-
They've
yeah,
got
or
some
was that
plot
it?
lines to start explaining here in the next week or so. They got to start getting on it.
yeah,
It's all fucking
I don't think we get an
melding.
answer to the Carol Danvers issue until we get the Marvels movie, which is quite a ways away.
Yeah.
Okay, until I see Betty, it's Razor Fist. Fair enough.
Earth 615, baby.
God, when they made the character Razor Fist and both his arms were fists, I was thinking, mate, that's it, your life's over. You know what I mean? You
Universe
can't take a
619.
piss.
Right?
Can't wipe your ass. You know?
Be really
Can't be
complicated.
intimate. Well, maybe you can.
You could be
You
intimate,
can
but
be
it might
intimate,
get
just
weird.
can't touch
mid-
it.
Yeah.
Or just put on dildos instead of lasers.
Yeah.
Oh,
Trucking Down Under. Welcome to the stream.
welcome to the stream, man. All right. As we're talking about welcome to the stream, I think that's about it here. So let's go around. Let's give it our rating. So let's go ahead and we'll just start at the top here. Zam, what do you think?
Like I said, this should have been added on to the first episode. It was okay for what it was. Starting to feel a bit like Ally McBeal, but then again, that's what I kind of expected as well. I'll give it a 7, and that's a generous 7, but it's way too short. I hope the other episodes are longer than this.
It won't
Ridiculous.
be.
22 minutes. 22 minutes is ridiculous.
No, this is like WandaVision. Because WandaVision was 9 or 10 episodes long, and they were only half an hour episodes. So no, this is going in the WandaVision format where we get more episodes, but they're shorter.
It'll be shorter. Yeah.
I grew up on
Yes.
being 15 minutes long and 15 minutes of commercial. So
Yeah. That's kind of how you got to look at TV. God, we're old.
all right, what are you thinking there, Dave?
I think it was a good episode. I think I'm going to give it, I think it was about a 6. It was a slightly above average episode. It wasn't the best episode I've ever seen, but it wasn't the worst either. I think the pacing was good. The character development was good. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with Amil Blonski escaping from prison and seeing what, Jennifer's going to have to do to go after him, because it's inevitable that's where it's going to go.
8 sausages from Jim.
8 sausages.
All right, how about you, Ginger?
Yeah, I enjoyed this one. It was a complete departure from
What?
the shit show that was episode 1. And this one just felt, it was just like, the pacing was great. The situations were great. It was very well written. The chemistry among the characters really, really good. And it didn't even need action. In fact, I forgot there was no action until Zam mentioned it. But it was just enjoyable overall, just to finally just get establish the characters properly without putting in your fucking silly tropes in there. And I really enjoyed it. I'll give it a 7.
Timestamp this shit. Ginger
Yeah.
likes something. Timestamp
What
it.
have you done with the Ginger?
Told
that
you,
I know?
I'm very easily pleased, believe it or
He's
not.
from 615 universe. That's
Give
where he's
us
from.
good
Yeah, this is
You know what I mean?
Ginger
So-
Creek 615.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is 615 Ginger Creek.
All right, what about you there, Cheeto?
Yeah, I would probably go along with the. I would probably go along with.
Yeah, hell froze over, all right. I think he died sometime after we
I
reviewed
like to be
Saints
full
Row.
of
And,
surprises.
yeah, the old Ginger
Um,
died. The old Ginger died with Saints Row, and now the new Ginger's here. With
That game
been-
broke me. Now
dying.
everything else is enjoyable.
7 out of 10. Pretty much, I agree with everybody here. I mean, it was a good episode, and I didn't even realize there was no action in it until Zam mentioned it. So, I mean, it did its job. It did good.
Yeah.
And by the way, I just want everybody to notice I changed Ginger Greek's nameplate there.
yeah.
Accurate.
Lovely.
I also want to add that I'm really happy that we're finally seeing some like crossover in the series, like some proper crossover with some of the other events in the MCU. So that makes me very happy as well, because we need more of that.
Yeah.
Big
There's
fucking
more to
world.
come with Daredevil.
Yeah. and Wong and all
Jake?
that. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually follow up here with Jim, and I'm gonna give it an 8 as well. I think this is a better episode than last. I really echo everything that Ginger had to say, which blows my mind.
I know it's a shock, isn't it?
It happens.
And really,
It happens.
I was aware there was there wasn't any action because I was writing notes down and whatnot, and so I caught my attention earlier. But I didn't care. I think it was a really great world building. Episode 1,
Exactly.
she talks about how this should just be a silly lawyer show, and it's not. Don't worry about this. Don't read too much into it. Mephisto's not going to show up, kind of thing. And I think that they really delivered on that in this episode. It's a lawyer show. There's no action, and it's just some really great set pieces and some really great character building. So I think they did really good in that. Honestly, now that I say it like this, I'm going to jump that up to a 9.
It was a really good. Yeah,
so it's a little short, which is why I won't give it a 10 because I would have been happy at 35 minutes. I think that's an ideal length for a short episode. But I've always said that I think that the storytelling should dictate how long an episode is, not a runtime requirement. And a lot of Netflix shows try to push that 1 hour, and we hit exactly an hour, and that's what we fit into a story in this episode. I'd rather see one episode 38 minutes and the next one an hour and 5.
Yeah.
Well,
At least
look, if you've got a story to tell and you tell it, don't need to add in extra bits that are just going to derail the pace of the show. Just tell the story. The good thing with streaming services is they're not sticklers for runtimes. If something's 20 minutes, they'll do 20 minutes. If it's half an hour, it's 20. It's half an hour. They'll go. They'll just go with the flow. And also, I just want to say, like, this is one of the MCU shows which should have been with Miss Marvel as well, where you don't have to have the kind of cataclysmic world-ending event.
Thank God. Thank you, God. Yes.
You don't need to. This should just be purely.
Yeah, I was about to say the series is still.
I know
young,
we don't
guys.
know yet. I know. But what I'm saying that I hope that I'm hoping we don't get that.
Yeah,
we just
hopefully
get
it's
a character-driven piece with the odd bit of action here and there. This one doesn't even have to be massively action.
So why don't you like Hawkeye then, for fuck's sake?
Because Hawkeye was mentally stupid. Absolutely stupid show. Everything about it was fucking stupid.
Except
for the musical.
Greek, in your
that
honor,
was awesome. That musical was amazing.
I could do this all day.
I love that musical. It was fantastic.
I want to know. Do you think first of all we'll ever find out how Titania got her powers? Because apparently she's a superhero influencer.
Yeah, probably from the accident that other guy caused that he was in court for. She went to attack him.
She was in court for a traffic violation, they said, this episode. So last episode, she bust through a wall into the room that Jessica was presenting in, but she wasn't in the same case that Jessica was working. Titania was in traffic court next door and was trying to escape.
But I'm pretty sure, didn't she say, "Where is he?" And she tried to attack the guy that was holding the case.
Yeah,
I don't think so. No,
she threw that shit at the jury on purpose.
That's the way they phrased it at the beginning of this one, because they're talking about how it happened and everything, and why everyone knows she's She-Hulk. And
I do remember them saying at the beginning of this
traffic
episode.
court.
They did say that at the beginning of this episode. I thought it was weird because I agree with you, Ginger. I thought she said something to the fact of like, where is he? But I did hear at the beginning of this episode where they're like, oh, she was trying to escape traffic court or whatever, and that kind of made me confused. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, that whole bit with Titania was one of the most confusing things about last episode. Like, wait, what happened? Where'd she come from? What's going on?
I mean, it just adds to how shit that episode was. But anyway,
do you think Abomination and She-Hulk are going to throw down?
Yeah,
for sure.
They're going to fight.
Yeah, 100%.
It wouldn't be She-Hulk if they didn't fight.
I don't think Abomination is going to be the main bad, but I think she's going to have to go to blows with him for sure, and it'll be in Harlem. And
I say end of the season.
Yeah, they're saving that for the
fandom. I can see the fandom menace guys losing their shit. They were losing their shit. Oh my god, they were losing their shit with the first episode. You know what I mean? And I like the way
they lost
Angry
their
Joe
shit
said
for one reason. I lost my shit for a fucking story reason, but
I like the way Angry Joe.
Sorry, dude. I've got my camera fixed to my monitor, and I forgot to put it on my stand.
Please stop.
That's my bad. Sorry. Let me move my table away.
What are you, Kevin Dunn?
Cut it out, Ginger.
I'm Michael Bay.
All right. cheesy action flicks aside, I think that's probably a great time to give it a call here, guys. Any last closing moments before we say goodbye, Zam?
What a shock. We all like something.
Yeah, it was great. And regarding what we're going to be reviewing next, more fan films. I'm not sure if there's anything more coming out this week or next week other than Star Trek and
we have a fan film coming out tomorrow. This weekend, Major Rage and Bearded Man Thing did a tribute to Earthbound, the video game. That's going to be coming.
And Ginger and I did a Saints Row review. You guys could check that out too.
Mm-hmm. I might do Harley Quinn. I don't know. I mean, with like, if we had like no content coming out this weekend, I'd be like, all right, I'll do a Harley Quinn review. But
you could skip Harley Quinn.
I know, but you know me, I like consistency.
I think, yeah. I think it can be
also, if I'm awake, I'll be doing a live watch along of Clash at the Castle, which is
tomorrow. Let me look that up. Let me look it up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's tomorrow.
I thought it was early September. Could be wrong, but
no, it's tomorrow.
I will try it as well if anybody else wants to, maybe before Saturday, Sunday, do a review of
September 3rd,
Samaritan.
Dude.
Oh, is it? Oh, it's next weekend.
September 3rd. Yeah, you got a week. So
all right,
Samaritan's out on Amazon Prime, the superhero film with Sylvester Stallone. So I'll try to review. Yeah, so I'll try to review that within the next day or two.
Just do a general with that. Don't do a play-by-play because nobody's going to do too much of it. I don't.
Yeah. I only do play-by-play on the series.
Okay, let's go ahead and close it up, though. So it's been nice talking to everyone. Again, if anyone has any last closing thoughts on the show. All right.
No, let's wrap it up.
Thanks, everyone, for coming and hanging out with us here and talking She-Hulk. Always glad to have you here on NerdTube, the best channel that you probably... Have you heard of us? Are you here right now? Who knows?
Like and subscribe, baby!
Hey.